name is Madeline, and I am making a new book content channel because I have a main channel already where I post a lot of music stuff, and I want to talk about books so bad. And I have made a few book videos over on that channel, but I feel like I'm gaining more traction and getting more views on that channel from my music content that I make, so I want to make another channel. I'm starting a new channel just because I want a separate space for my book videos, because I love books and I want to talk about them. But today what I'm going to do is a little channel introduction just about myself, and then also I'm going to pick my July TBR, even though it is July 1st today. I'm going to be using this little mug that I got from Target, and it has prompts in it, and I'll be picking them out, but we're gonna do that later. First, I want to do a little get to know me. So first off, welcome to my channel. I read just about every genre of books. The main genres that I read are romance and fantasy, I would say, but I love reading memoirs. I just read a historical fiction recently. Regular fiction's fine. I don't read a lot of nonfiction. I need to read more memoirs and such, but thrillers are good. I haven't read one in a while. I guess I just haven't been that drawn to them. I feel like I usually read them more during like winter and fall than summertime. So far this year, I have read 86 books, which is ridiculous. And you might be wondering, how do you do that? I just got a new job recently, like 9 to 5. A 40-hour job week. I'm 23 years old and I just graduated college last year with a degree in music technology, but I just haven't like found a job in music that like has clicked with me. I had a job doing videography and photography, but it just is not consistent enough for me to have that just as my full-time job, so that's now just a part-time job that I do. But my new job is packing books. I work at a warehouse and I just pack orders of books all day. It's amazing. I listen to audiobooks. I literally listened to a whole audiobook today. It's great. I love it so much. So how I do that, I love my Kindle. I read on my Kindle all the time. I read on my Kindle, I listen to audiobooks, and I read physical books. As you can see, they're next to me. I think my favorite way to read a book is in the physical form, but I'm not always able to do that. Right now, I am currently reading Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I am only 66 pages in. It's been a lot harder for me to just sit down and read, especially since I just got a new full-time job. I've been reading it as much as I can. I love it so much. I think this is like the fourth book. This is the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series. I want to tell you guys some of my all-time favorite books slash series. Now, if someone were to ask me what's your favorite book, that's a loaded question. I can't answer that question. There's more than one answer, and I'm gonna tell you them what they are right now. In no specific order. The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. This is like the 5 novellas that go prior to the Throne of Glass series, and I read this first, and I think about it just about every day. Broke my heart. I cried so freaking hard during this book. Another book that I love is A Court of Mist and Fury. I fucking annotated the shit out of this book. This is the second book in the ACOTAR series. I feel like ACOTAR is really taking off right now. I read this last year. I definitely feel like I'm more of a Throne of Glass girl than an ACOTAR girl, but I still really enjoyed this. It was just very spicy, like more spicy than I usually prefer. And you know, if you know, you know. You know what I mean? I can't really talk about what this book is about because it's the second book in a series, but if you know, you know. And why haven't you read this if you haven't yet? So that's all. That's all I gotta say. I don't know if this is kind of like cringy, but Fourth Wing, one of my favorite books ever. I don't know why. This was my first ever fantasy book that I ever read last year when it came out. It was like one of the first books that I ever really went into detail on annotating, and I still think about this a lot. I did not like the second book. Hopefully with the series continuing on, I like it more. I don't know if it was just the dragons or I couldn't really tell you what specifically it was that made this book so enjoyable for me. I don't know if it was just because it was my first fantasy book that I ever read and I was just like in awe of it or what, but I adored all of this so much. So, and then my favorite series of all time. Look at the annotations. Are you joking? Are you joking? Are you joking? Magnolia Parks. Toxic romance book. Yep. I don't know what my favorite Magnolia Parks book is. We have the first one, Daisy Hates. I definitely like the Magnolia Parks books more than I like the Daisy Hates books, but I still love them to death. I think it's a tie between The Long Way Home. I mean, look at these annotations. Do you see those? Here's Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. It has to be a tie between the Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home, and Into the Dark. I mean, look at this. Do you see this? Are you joking? It was like, when I was reading these books in the first Magnolia Parks, it's like every single page, basically, I'm tabbing something. I don't know. It took me a while to get through this book because I did not want it to end. I think it took me like over a month to read this book, which is unheard of for me because I read a lot. I remember like reading this and then looking at the back and the necklace and what you learn about I love the UK covers because there's so much lore to them. Like, I can look at this and I'm just like, yep. Like, I can just look at all of it and just, I'm not gonna say what it all means, but I'm just like, yep. I don't know what else to say besides that. This is my favorite series ever, and I will be getting a tattoo for it once I stop being broke. Some authors that I always recommend and some of my favorite authors are Emily Henry, Abby Jimenez, Holly Jackson for thrillers, YA thrillers, Jessa Hastings, Sarah J Maas, of course. Some of my favorite tropes that I love are enemies to lovers, like in romances, second chance romances, but enemies to lovers, like in fantasy books, like when they're like, I'm going to kill you and then fall in love, or like, I have to kill you and then they fall in love, you know what I mean? Those are always great. Love sports romances. I love billionaire romances. I love reading about rich people. That's why Magnolia Parks is like one of my favorite series. Tropes that I don't necessarily love are grumpy sunshines. I don't know why, I just, like, they're just mean. Like, all of the grumpy sunshines I've read, they're just like dicks, like complete assholes. Like Mile High, did not like Mile High because I just felt like he was way too much of an asshole to her. And I hate the cheating trope. Why is it in books? Why? Some fictional characters that remind me of myself, to an extent, Magnolia Parks. Listen, I am not rich. Okay. Some of the things that she goes through in some of the books, I also have gone through very intensely. There's so many quotes in the Magnolia Parks series where I read them and I'm like, that's me. Or maybe Lily Cathaway in the Addicted series. I don't have the specific problem that she has, but I have struggled a lot with addiction and just blocking people out. And so I'm excited to see her grow in this series. And I think that'll probably relate to me too. I hate that I just chose like two really, not sad, two characters that go through a lot. And I say, oh, that's me. But yeah, that is a little bit about me. I'm an Aries. Please don't immediately click off this video after I just said that. I love concerts. I love music. So yeah, I think it's time that we do Picking My July TBR. I'm very excited for this. This is gonna be my first full month working at my new job. I can listen to lots of audiobooks. I think I have about 20-ish or more prompts in here. I'm going to choose 12 books because that's like on average what I read a month. You can see this is my little TBR cart. We're gonna go through it. I'm gonna pick 12 books. Time to pick first one. A book with chapter titles. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Technically, the chapter titles are the dates. So possibly this. That's like a cop-out one. Okay, City of Bones has chapter titles. I know Redeeming 6 has chapter titles, but this is a thick one. That one scares me a lot. So Redeeming 6 is a choice. City of Bones is an option. I haven't started any of these. I feel like this one can't count because it's just like, it's not chapter titles, it's just like the dates. So I feel like this one is a cop-out. Is it Redeeming 6? I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know. I'm scared to do this, so I guess it's gonna be City of Bones. We're starting another series. City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. First book done. Book number 2. Highest rated on Goodreads. I'm on my Goodreads. I'm gonna go to my physical TBR and it is set to average rating. The highest rated is Queen of Shadows, which I'm already reading, so I don't want to count that as it. And the next one is Heartstopper. Okay, Heartstopper. I just bought this and I am more than excited to read it. I've wanted to read it for so long and I want to watch the show. I don't know why, I feel like it's gonna be quick too. I've never really read a graphic novel, so this is my first graphic novel too. So that's super, super exciting. Prompt number 3. A book that everyone talks about. I feel like there's quite a few of that on here. I know what I'm choosing. The Housemaid. This has been on my TBR for almost a year now, and I need to just read it. The third one just came out, and I need to read it. Everyone talks about this book. I need to know. I need to know what it's about. So, we're choosing The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I've also never read a Frida McFadden book before. The Housemaid. Book number 3. Next. Book number 4. Okay, the book that has been on my TBR the longest. Oh god. I think it's this book. I'm gonna have to say that it's Alex Approximately. This is a YA romance that I bought last year, like around this time. So I am 90% sure that this has been on my TBR the longest. So Alex Approximately, I know I want to read this book by the end of the summer. I'm pretty sure it's based in California too, so I need to just read it. So yep, 4th book that we picked out, Alex Approximately. Next. Reread an old favorite. I already know what I'm picking. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm right back. It's Happy Place. I'm going to reread Happy Place. I read this probably around this time last year when it came out. I'm in the process of going through all of Emily Henry's books and annotating them because I've read all of her books. I've only annotated Beach Read and then Funny Story, which just came out. So, yep, Happy Place. It's our 6th book. We're about halfway there. Book number 6. A book that's on Kindle Unlimited. Okay, I gotta look. It doesn't have to be on my physical TBR. That's bad. I should choose one that's on my physical TBR, but I'm not going to. Oh, there's a few. Okay, well the first one that I saw that I know I'm interested in reading is One Dark Window. So we're doing One Dark Window. I've wanted to read this book for so long, and I just haven't. So, yep, One Dark Window. That's what we're doing. Book number 7. Okay. A book that has an even number of pages at the end. No. Love and Olives is 500 pages long. Oh my god. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. It's gonna be between these 3. I think this is long, so I think I'm gonna put this one back. I am really drawn to Regretting You. Get out of the sun. Regretting You. I don't know why. I don't know anything about any of the Colleen Hoover books. I just want to read some of them. So I've read a few and they're okay. I have a reading blog coming out eventually about me reading Colleen Hoover books. Maybe that book will be in it. I don't know. We'll find out. This is book number 8. This is so much fun. Okay. A thriller. I only have one other thriller on here, and that is The Cellar by Natasha Preston. This was a very popular book on Wattpad. If you used Wattpad, you probably saw The Cellar, and I have not read it since. And I know that it was really fucked up. I know I loved it when I first read it when I was in like middle school, so I wonder if my adult brain still likes it or not. All right, book number 9. A book with a one-word title. We have Ricochet, Renegades, which is thick. Is that it? I think that's it. So it's either Ricochet or Renegades. I have a lot of books to read. I really want to start Renegades, but I think what I'm going to do is pick Ricochet because it's a short little book and I want to continue reading about these characters. So, yep, it's Ricochet. The 2nd book in the Addicted Calloway Sister series. 3 more. Free pick! I'm gonna choose The Roughest Draft just because it's summertime. We only have 2 more months of summer and I want to make sure that I get this off my TBR before the end of the summer. This is a newer addition to my TBR, but I've been wanting to read it since last year. I've heard mixed reviews on it. Pretty sure it's about a husband and a wife who decided to write a book together, but also I think it's a husband and wife who also wrote this book. I'm excited to read it. 2 more books on my insanely long July TBR. Because why do I do this to myself? I don't know. A book with a nature theme? Do I really just like want to read Emily Wilde's encyclopedia for fairies? I think I'm gonna go with nature theme on the cover. So I've had this book literally has dust on the top of it. That's so sad. I've had this book since Christmas. To Kill a Shadow. It was gifted to me. I don't even know what it's about. I want to get this off my TBR. So we're gonna add this to it. To Kill a Shadow by Catherine Quinn. This is our last one. This is our last one because we have the one on the Kindle too. So, this is our last one. Here it is. A sports romance. Oh, I know what I can read. It's not in here. Let me go get it. God damn it. I'm lazy. I don't want to get up. Okay, I'm back. The sports romance that I'll read this month, The Goal by Elle Kennedy. This is the 4th book in the Off-Campus series. I'm currently working my way through just reading all of Elle Kennedy's books, basically. Or I'm going to read the Off-Campus series, then the Brer University series that comes after this, and then I'll go into her newer books, because I'm really excited to read her newer books. But I've enjoyed this series. I think the last book was my favorite, or the first book, The Deal, was my favorite, one of my favorites, but we're going to add that to the TBR. One of the prompts in here was to buy a new book. I'm kind of sad that one wasn't chosen, but let's do a little recap of all the books that I have for this month. So first off, we have City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, Heartstopper by Alice Osman, I hope I said her name right, The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett, a reread of Happy Place by Emily Henry, Regretting You by Colleen Hoover, The Cellar by Natasha Pierston, Ricochet, the 2nd book in the Addicted Calloway series, The Roughest Draft, To Kill a Shadow by Catherine Quinn, The Goal by Elle Kennedy, and then One Dark Window, which I'll read on my Kindle and maybe buy it. Yeah, this is a very ambitious TBR for the month of July. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know. I'm also reading literally Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, and I'm gonna want to continue the series. That is all that I have today, guys. I'm tired. I worked 8 hours today, then I came home and filmed this video, and I'm tired. Thank you guys so much for watching my first video on this new channel. If you have a book channel, comment down below. I'll link my Goodreads, my Instagram, all of my links for everything in the description. Comment what book you're most excited to read for the month of July. Some videos to expect on here are reading vlogs. I really want to do trying to finish as many series as possible because I'm in the middle of like 15 series or so and I need to get through them. TBR videos, monthly wrap-ups. I have a specific Colleen Hoover video I've been filming since like probably November that'll be coming out eventually. And I just want to talk about books because I love them so much. Literally, I listened to the audiobook of Daisy Jones and the Six today and I immediately just wanted to stop working and like tell someone about it because I was just like, there's no way. Like there's just no way. Like there's so much to unpack with that book. But thank you again so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next one very soon. Bye.